Hello and welcome to another recording from my channel. This will be an update to the reputation system. So we'll be seeing what level 4 you get for level 4. These are going to be space traits, and I thought I had done it, but obviously I hadn't. So let's get into this. So what I've done here is I've gotten most of my level 5 boxes here. So I'm going to open them up here now. So with the Gamma Recruit one, you can see with level 4 you unlock Captain traits. There we go. Magnified firepower. Slotting this trait will passively increase your starship's weapon damage. 5% bonus damage. So if you want to get as much bonus damage in with your weapons and you don't want to worry about your shields, this will probably be a good one for you. And this one's the opposite, strengthening shields. So it basically has 10% resistance. I guess that's it, all resistance altogether, all different weapons, energy and torpedoes. Doesn't actually specify, so I'd just say your shields have just been 10% more resistant to damage. Okay. Always have to click on that or you'll get the wrong one. Captain's trait. Omega Graviton Amplifier. Okay, shield penetration. Adds a chance to deal kinetic damage with 100% shield penetration with your weapons. 2.5% chance, 11.3 kinetic damage with 100% shield penetration on directed energy attacks. Double energy versus Borg. Okay, so that's really good against Borg. So this is where having this setup and this setup is very important. And again, you've got to have, like this one is specifically for Borg attack. So you can either just have that constantly on, or when you're doing, say the, where are we? Mega, there we go. So when you're doing a Borg attack one, you can actually just go make sure that you've got these sort of activated, just to help you with your attacks in the game, or a defense as well. Superior shield repair. 25.8 shield repair. Okay, that's pretty good. Anything that repairs your shields is a pretty good bonus. Nucura Strike Force. Auxiliary Power Configuration Defense. +0 or damage resistance. In space combat, you can gain a bonus to maximum hull hit points, maximum shield hit points, and or damage resistance rating that scales based on your auxiliary power level. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain if there's no percentage there. But when you're out in space, which I should be actually to show you these things. When you're out in space, your ship layout will actually tell you certain things. Hang on, what was here? I've already got... Oh, my bank slots, that's right, I was going to move stuff around. So, when you're looking at this here, this is where this information becomes available. As you can see, now that we're out in space, you can actually see the difference here. So, plus 12.8 all defense rating, 3.2% maximum hit points. I'd say that's hull damage there, and shield capacity. So again, this in conjunction with this one will give you better shields. So if you're looking for something tanky that can take a lot of damage, getting your shields and your hull hit points up will be good, because that does shields, and this does shields and hull. New Romulus level 4 space unlocks. Secondary shielding. While the effect is active, next incoming critical hit will heal your shields for 1,860, which consumes the effect. Refreshes 20 seconds later. Okay, so if you get hit every 20 seconds for a critical hit, you actually recharge your shields. Again, having all these shield things active, you can only have 5 active because this is the space reputation, not the space traits. So it's space reputation that you're going to be unlocking. So I have to go through this and change a whole. As you can see, I've got 24 now, 48 of these things now. Okay, what was the other one here? Sensor targeting assault. While effect is active, next outgoing critical hit will apply weapons offline for 4 seconds, which consumes the effect. I assume that means you're going to knock the enemy's weapons offline, because it's a bonus for you. So your sensor's so good, you hit their power output for their energy weapons, and it's put their weapons offline. So that's actually pretty decent. Dyson Joint Command Level 4 unlock. Okay, so this is very similar to... Let's have a look if we can find a... It should be engineering, isn't it? No, it's not engineering. It's this one. Polarized hull. So what this does is it hardens the hull, makes it a bit easier, a bit harder, bit easier on you, a bit harder for the enemy to attack. So what this does, provides to self 0 to 75 all damage resistance rating. So basically, if you have those two working in conjunction with each other, you can take very little damage for that attack. Tactical advantage. While your target's health is less than 50%, plus 10 to plus 20 armor penetration. Okay, so the weaker your enemy gets, the more damage you do to it. That's actually, again, pretty good. Depending on if you want to have your weapons output or your whole resistance. Okay, so this is like a bubble around your ship, and I've seen a lot of people using this one. When suffering damage, 10% chance to 5% shield resistance for 15 seconds. The chance is doubled versus Undine. So as you can see, every time you come into a specific area, there's a possibility of that enemy being the one that this trait is devoted to help making sure you can fight them better. Nanoprobe feedback. When hit by directed energy attacks, 10% chance to reflect 100% of incoming directed energy damage back at the attacker. Reflected damage is doubled versus Okay, so if the Undine hit you with 1,000, you hit them back with 2,000. That's actually pretty good. And again, you've got to make sure that, well, this in conjunction with something else that would probably work with the Undine. So that's actually pretty good. Delta Alliance Tier 4. Reactive ship repairs. On critical, plus 310 hull restored per second for 5 seconds. Again, that's a good one. Like, once you're in battle and your hull is being hit, that means your shields are down. You want your hull to be hardened. So this in conjunction with the hardening of the hull, plus having the hull repair itself. So instead of taking no damage at all, it will actually repair itself at the same time. On every non-critical hit, with a weapon increase critical hit chance by 0.5. Hang on, one of the other ones... Oh, maybe that was a ground trait. Yeah, it's a ground trait from the previous one. So basically, you just get a better chance of a critical hit. Again, I kind of prefer to calculate my damage from standard hits, and critical hits are just a bonus. So I really don't focus too much on critical severity or critical chance. Okay. Iconian Resistance, level 4. To target, 2.5% chance, 1,000 radiation damage in a kilometer radius that target, and removes 1 buff. Okay, so if the bridge officers have activated a buff that helps them, or yourself has they have activated a buff, this will actually turn one of them off while giving them radiation damage. When taking damage, become immune to damage for 3 seconds. Can occur at most once per 60 seconds. Okay. Again, if you want to be tanky, this is one to choose. Terran Task Force. Torpedo Astros. Using Torpedo Bridge Officer ability reduces remaining recharge of Science Bridge Officer abilities by 15%. Okay, and there is also... Let's see if I've actually got it active. I do not. There is also a piece of equipment that you can, a device you can put on your ship which reduces bridge officer, science bridge officer cooldown. So if you use a lot of bridge officers, science officers, this in conjunction with that device will reduce their ability, their cooldown ability, so you'll get to use them more often. Using a shield healing bridge officer ability reduces remaining recharge of torpedo bridge. Okay, so they work in conjunction. This is tactical for science, and this is science for tactical. So if you have both of these active, that's two of the three will, because engineering, tactical, and science are the three main ones. And you got the the intelligence and all that sort of stuff. But most of the time you'll be having a lot of the basic ones. So those two work together. That's pretty good. Temporal defense initiative. Controlled countermeasures. 7.5% bonus energy weapon and projectile damage against controlled targets. Controlled, I would believe, would mean such as what do you call it? Tractor beams. Deal additional damage against targets affected by controlling effects such as slow, stun, or root. That sounds like ground. Slow, stun, or... That's ground combat, that is. Slow, stun, root. I think that would be like using the gravity well or the tractor beam to hold them. That might be what that means. Counter stroke. When affected by a control effect, gain gain 35% critical severity for 5 seconds. It's got to be tractor beam or something like that. Anything that slows the ship down. Okay, Lacurie, level 4. Okay, Piezo electrical weapon amplification. 5% chance with weapons to target 5,000 targets. Oh, okay, sorry. So when you hit the ship, there's a 5% chance that you'll do 5,000 damage to all the shields. That's all 4 facings. So let's have a quick look at the ship here. So the shields here are 17,000, and they'll just drop down to 12, basically. So you'll get rid of, depending on the amount, probably 25 to 30% of shields will go down, because I think some people can have their shields over 20,000, depending on the attributes you use. Automated protomatter conduits. When critically hit, gain plus 550 shield regeneration every second for 15 seconds, plus 100% hull regeneration for 15 seconds. Gain hull and shield regeneration when critically hit. Passive. I would definitely be using this. An overall basic immunity, basically. Instead of when you get critically hit, you just get a whole heap of regeneration. That's a very good one to keep. Competitive war games. Rolling Tide. Okay, there's a lot here. Takedowns have a chance to drop a buff. 100% chance against players. 5% chance against non-players. When picked up, team receives. So I guess that's PvP instead of I can't. What's the terminology? Oh, P versus E, P versus P. Okay, so yeah, so P versus P. This has a 100% chance and 5% chance against non-players, which would be the computer. P versus E. Okay. When picked up, team receives plus 300% turn rate strength. Whoa! Flight speed and see, when you get excessive turn rate like that, it's pretty hard to keep track of what you're doing. So that's probably a little bit of overkill. Everyone knows that I like my turn rate, but that's a bit too much. 15,518 shield healing for each facing of your hull for 20% of its maximum hit points. Oh, sorry. Your hull is healed for 20% of its maximum hit points. So basically, this would give me full shields for each facing. Every time I defeat an enemy player who will drop a buff. I think this is only in a team effort, though. This seems to be a team orient. Oh yeah, war games. War games is a team-orientated thing. So I guess this would only work in a task force operation where you're with a group. It's not something you'd use in an episode while you're playing the episodes. Critical deflection. Target loses 50% of critical chance for 5 seconds. When hit by a critical, being critically hit will reduce the attacker's critical hit chance for short duration. I guess that's better if you're fighting a lot of bigger ships. The smaller ships will be pretty much gone within that 5-second time period, I'd say. So I guess if you're playing a lot of battles against big ships, that might be very useful. Okay, so let's go to the traits. Let's go to Space Reputation. Okay. Again, I don't really care about severity. I think that was probably just one of the better ones I had at the time. Yep, I want damage resistance. I like my turn rate. That doesn't seem to have any effect. As soon as my shields go down, my hull gets destroyed. So I don't think that's of any use to me at this point. Gain hull and shield damage when... Okay, so that's the one I said I definitely would get. That's actually pretty good. Damage against controlled targets when controlled. Critical hit chance to buff, increase control resistance. Trigger damage immunity when hit. Yep, immune for 3 seconds. Problem solved. Okay, so that's the reputation system done. Also, let's see. We unlock tier passive abilities, which are these things. So the equipment is basically the stuff you'll get in the boxes, which we're going to open now. Again, we'll just go back into the space dock so I can actually dump the stuff into the bank while I go through it. And we'll quickly run to the bank. Again, if you want to see more detailed information, I think once I get to level 6 of the reputation system, I might actually do a video on each reputation itself rather than doing a full reputation talk about level 1, level 2, level 3. I might actually just do Gamma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and at least that way I can show you everything in the store as well. And I'll probably keep a couple of these boxes to do that as well. Okay, so let's... Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I want this one. Okay, so let's open these. Okay, so for me personally, I don't use cannons, so I discard these. Torpedoes, it's a level 12, but it's a rare. I'll only keep the very rare, so I'll get rid of that. Don't use cannons. Don't use dual beams. I only use phaser arrays. That is a level rare, and that is rare, so I'll get rid of it. So this is how I quickly go through it. So you can't sell them, you can't salvage them. The only thing you can do to clean up your area, because my bank was like half full of these boxes, so I had to get rid of them. Okay, and with the Task Force Omega, again we'll just quickly open a few. And again, you can see here that they're all very rare, but some of them are level 11, not 12. I don't need them. And again, you can't sell them, you can't salvage them. They are bound to your character. So I normally just discard them. Anything less than level 12, automatically discard. Anything less than very rare is automatically discard. Okay, so I have it written down somewhere, so just give me 1 second. There it is. Okay, anti-Borg, 17 to 20. Okay, so 17 to 20 here is my anti-Borg team. And as you can see here, anti-Borg, anti-proton beam, anti-Borg, anti-ball. Oh, I've already got the whole set, have I? And again, once I can get okay, I'll discard those. I've already got the full setup I need. But once I get to the reputation system where I can actually do it now, but I don't start building these until after I've maxed out the affinity for it. So it won't be until I maxed out level 6 that I'll start building these weapons. And as you can see, these macro things are anti-Borg sort of weapons. So hopefully, it doesn't actually say whether or not it does more damage against Borg or not. Okay, doesn't actually say whether it does more damage against Borg, but going to have to check that out once I get there. Nukura. Again, I don't care for EVA suits because I've got a whole heap of them. I've deleted a whole heap because I had so many. So I'm just going to get rid of these. Level 11, level 11, 11, 11. And as you can see, anything that's level 11 I can get rid of. Everyone's got their own gameplay, and again, these are all in the store. So if you look in the store, which one is this? Sonic Blast Assault. Blast Assault, critical damage, Sonic. So it's the second one on the list here. So you can spend 6,375 dilithium on it, or you can got the possibility of getting it for free just from doing a research. As you can see, it's worth 11,000 credits, but you can't sell it. I don't know if you can sell. I'm not even going to buy these because I don't need them. Oh, got rid of the damn thing again. I'm not going to buy them because I don't need them. Everything's shutting down. Okay, so again, do I have a Nukura? 9 to 12. So I've got it all written down on a piece of paper. So basically every Federation will have the same setup. Every Federation character I have will have the same setup. Okay, none of them have a weapon. So that's the first level 12 hand weapon I've received so far. Oh, bound on. Oh no, don't tell me I could have sold it. Let's have a look at the other ones. What is this? This is Sonic. Bound a character. Don't tell me I deleted all those things that could have been. They're all bound to character. Okay, well I'll be retrieving that. Well, that's something, isn't it? I've deleted a whole heap of these things, and I just found out you can sell some, just the hand weapons from the looks of it. Just the hand weapons. I'm not sure if that's a bug in the system, because you can't sell anything else. So I will be definitely putting those on the market and selling them. That can go here, actually. The only reason I was equipping them is because they were bound to character. But if I can sell them, I will. Okay, so the next one to look at is the new Romulus. Okay, bound to character. Okay, so I can't sell any of these. And again, don't want anything level 11. I'll keep the level 12. Don't use cannons. See, on another character, if I wanted to, like a Klingon character, if I wanted to use cannons, I'd keep them on that particular character. But I can't transfer these between characters because they are bound to the actual character, not the account. Okay, put that in. Oh no, it's level 11, so I'll get rid of that. Okay, so do I have a new Romulus group? 13 to 16. Romulan. Well, I don't know. Oh, that's right, I lost their intelligence. Yes. Hang on. I know, I should have another intelligence, that's why that one isn't there. So, because that's a level 12 and it is bound to me, I will shove it into my bank so it's not in here taking up space. Reputation, Dyson Joint Command. Let's have another gander. What did I just do? I don't want the information. Okay, so rare, so I'll discard that. Actually, I think I have a whole heap of these somewhere. Could have sworn unless I put them on a ship. I might have put these onto a ship to clear out the bank. But you can see a level 12, so I'll keep that. That's a rare, so I'll get rid of it. Found a character, and they're rare, so I'll get rid of them. Don't even look at what they are, just get rid of them. Cannon. Character. Discard. Okay. 8472 or Undine. Okay, so discard. It's a rare, so I'm not going to keep it. I might keep one or two mines because they are pretty useful in some situations, but they're not something I will constantly be using. Okay, I'll put that into my account. Has to be sold, yep. This is Undine. 21 to 24. Now, as you can see, it's that simple. You can just have your group set up. I have it written down on a piece of paper. Eventually, once I can get in my mind exactly how I want it set up, I will actually have, like number 5 will be my anti-breen brigade, so I will actually have them called that. If I go to edit record, I will actually have them called the anti-breen or something like that, just so I have an idea of what I'm doing. I'm very place for everything, a place for everything and everything in its place sort of person, although I don't always have the opportunity to do it the way I want. So let's have a look at the Delta Alliance. This one is all about the Delta Quadrant. And I've got a rare piece of equipment. I will discard that because it's a rare. Keep, discard. I don't know why these are facing different ways. Oh, one's a cannon, one's a turret. Okay. And it's that simple. I just, again, if some people might just discard the boxes. They might not want to use the boxes at all. They have no intention of using them. They'll just want to build the sets you can get. Everyone's got their own playthrough. I prefer, if you can get something for free, grab it. If you can use it, grab it. Again, there was the other stuff that wasn't bound to character, so I'm trying to do my best to get rid of it. So that was the Oconian Resistance one. And again, you can see I'm getting rid of a good 95% of everything. Just because I don't always use every particular thing in the game. Some people like cannon build, some people like a beamer build. I like to have a phaser array and torpedo build. This is a hand weapon. Oconian Resistance, do I have one? 25 to 28. Okay, and that can go into there. Terran Task Force. Let's have a look. Rare piece of equipment. Rare item. Don't use cannons. And as you saw before, as long as you don't leave the map, as long as you stay on this map, you can always go back to the replicator and retrieve anything you've just gotten rid of. As long as you haven't received anything for it, I don't think you should have to pay any sort of credits for it, because you didn't actually get any credits for trashing it, I think. Okay. Ooh, withering phaser array. Okay, so where's my bank? Why isn't my bank opening up? Okie dokie. Temporal defense. Okay, a very rare. Get rid of that. 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 That can go into my bank account. Okay, so this is temporal. Do I have one set up for temporal? 29 to 32. He's got a temporal weapon. And it's not that this will be my temporal team, it's just that they will hold the weapons for that. Oh, that's a cannon. I thought it was a bloody hand weapon. That's my bad. Okay. The Curie. Sweet. So the Curie, 5 through to 8. Got the weapon. Got a weapon. Got no weapon. And this just helps me keep an eye on my bits and pieces, making sure that the weapons are there. As you can see, I've gotten 3 more here. I think I've only got... I should be able to buy more bridge officers. I don't need to at this point, but I don't think these ones can be renamed. Okay, he can be. Lita cannot be. And Evelyn can't. So, hang on, where's Neelan? Oh, Neelan's another one you can get later on. Okay, so they're competitive. Let's have a quick look at this. Again, if you go to the store, these things here are in here, so you can actually buy them. Or this is probably one, if you like to use devices on your ship, this is probably one you can do with the hourly for, just to get the excess amount of equipment. And again, my bank has shut down, which is annoying. So again, this is everything. I'm going to, even the rares, I will keep everything here, because these are things that can be used at some point. And again, I will be at some point using them. And a rare piece of equipment that is good for research. So as you can see, oh no, that's not a piece of equipment. So these sort of things here, they are pieces of equipment. If you're finding it difficult to collect them through the boxes, you just go to the bottom one here and go straight down to the bottom, and there's where you can collect them. They do actually cost quite a bit, like 100 marks per go, and you do need 5 of them for each piece of equipment, I believe. There you go, 5 of them. So it's going to cost you 500 marks just to get the pieces of equipment. Then you need another 500 marks to do the mission. Then you got dilithium and energy costs. So I guess if you wanted to get the opportunity to get more of these rare items to do your research with, or to buy the equipment, you might want to do the hourly research just to get more of these boxes for the potential of unlocking these rare pieces of equipment. It didn't matter whether it was a level 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think it goes above 4, because I'm doing level 6 now on another character, and even with that I'm only getting level 4 boxes. So I'm not too sure what else I can explain to you with this particular video playthrough. Okay, I'm not the brightest spark in the shed, and I completely forgot to do the recording. So I've now finished level 5, and I can start doing level 6. Now I won't do a level 6 rundown of all this stuff, because basically all it is telling you that it's one level higher than the original. So you can see it's got plus 75 armor for 5 seconds, plus 93.8. So it just goes up a little bit. So it's just an update of all of these. So unless I get requests to do a run through of everything, I probably won't do any more videos on the reputation system, or not for a while anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly run through the level 4 unlocks, and then once I finish doing that, I will edit that into the other video, and then I'll do a level 5 unlock. Let's get started. Transmission 4.
Captain's log, 4th reckoning, Chronicle 88. We are currently in orbit over the planet Kantar. I am trying to determine how I shall inform my crew that we will not be restoring the ecosphere of the planet our people once called home. The decision arrived earlier in a secure transmission, very formal. After considerable debate, it was placed to a planet-wide vote. The final results were 73% against and 27% in favor. The motion to restore Kantar's ecosystem has failed. Sun wounds, as the humans say, never heal. Too many Lucari do not consider Kantar to be their home. They see it as a reminder of a time we lost our way as a people. Time they never wish to see again. Kantar is a cautionary tale. Many in the crew will be disappointed, myself among them. Perhaps someday we will have the chance to undo the damage here. But not this day.
Okay, I won't look at number 5, because that will be for the next level. Okay, there's only 4 for this one anyway.
After action report stardate 46853.5, Commander Narrator reporting. I've just enjoyed an interesting visit to Terok Nor, or rather Deep Space Nine. Our intel suggested that the Nakul were going to assassinate Cisco, and in a most unusual fashion, death by holosuite. I managed to gain access to the station's holosuite network, but I saw no signs of tampering or any scheduled appointments for Benjamin Sisko. Jake Sisko, on the other hand, was in a session. I hacked the suite and stopped a holographic baseball pitcher from throwing a 300-mile-an-hour fastball into Sisko the Younger's skull. I then tracked the assassin to a storage area. As I prepared to enter, the door opened, and that Taylor Garrick walked out. He tapped his nose and smiled as he passed. Inside, I found the corpse of the lone Nakul agent. As I said, an interesting visit.
Oh, 5 unlocks once you look at it. That's pretty good. Okay.
Personal log, Admiral Lita. I get the sense that our time-traveling visitors are not giving us the best of their technology. They won't give us weapons that are advanced enough to be a threat to them. I suppose it doesn't really matter. This technology is more than enough to guarantee that the fleet will remain under my control. We finished installing temporal shielding. In addition to protecting us against a wider range of weapons, this will insulate us from changes in the timeline. When we go back to wipe out the Iconians, the shields will guarantee that we will remember everything after we return. Naturally, any captain I suspect of disloyalty is going to experience a slight variance in their shield harmonics. Wiped from the timeline. Oops! And nobody will ever remember their treachery.
Okay. Let's go to the Dyson Sphere. I'll cut that out and we'll just appear there. Okay, let's head to the science lab and see what the next message is.
I'm sorry for the delay in my response, but I needed to take extra precautions with my communications. After another round of disastrous tests in combining Voth and Sphere technologies, I was offered up as a scapegoat. I am no longer a member of the Voth Circle of Archaeology. But I've been doing this for so long, it's hard to stop keeping an eye on my former colleagues' experiments. Now my curiosity is tinged with a hint of fear. Their findings may be corrupted. When it was discovered that the Omega particles generated by this structure were sent to collection sites in the outer shell, the first thought was to blindly jumpstart this process, rather than to methodically determine its purpose. I'm afraid our leaders are so entranced by the perceived benefits of this advanced technology, they are willing to forego common-sense safety measures. Luckily, there are a few of us left who make safe and sane actions our primary objective. And luckier still, there are enough of your ships and soldiers causing problems inside our defensive lines that my actions are blamed on you. I'm not alone in this opinion. Our superiors are pushing hard to unlock this technology. There's a perceived lack of progress, and they are trying to make up for lost time. I'm sure you understand gravity as it applies to physics, but it also has a social component. When our leadership feels pressure, it is quickly felt by those below them. First by the military, then by the citizenry. The Voth have never taken kindly to dissenters. But there is no comparison between those who speak out against doctrine back home, and those who fight for basic scientific inquiry here and now. I fear I'll be discovered at any moment, but I fear even more that the work I'm doing won't continue on. Please stay safe.
End of file.
Okay, so that's that. So, once I get back to doing the level 5 of the reputation system, I'm going to go through all 5 levels, and I'll leave a timestamp, so if you want to skip the first 4 because you've seen them and want to see the 5th one, you can go into that. Okay, I'll just cut this in. Thanks and bye. That's pretty much the level 4 unlocks, the ship unlocks, and the boxes you can get. Eventually, I would like to, once I've maxed out everything, go through each reputation by itself and go through level 1, 2, 3, and all the way up to 6, and show you the differences between the different things. But each video would be actually just a reputation competitive war games, and then I'll just go and do another video for Lucari and so on and so forth. But again, I'll have to wait till I get to level 6 and all of those. Okay, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Any criticism, more than happy to take the criticism, just to leave a comment down below. All I ask is that you keep it civil in the conversations down below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.